After no more than an hour of travel, Gharan, who was no more than 60 m ahead of Arajakal, went suddenly to ground. He motioned for his companion to join him. Arajakal strode briskly forward. As he approached, he noticed a salient rectangular shape in the distance. Gharan was surveying it through his binoculars.
What meaning has this?
Look for yourself.
So there is a minefield ahead? No. When you can see the sign you are in the minefield, the sign is to panic the enemy into a hurried withdrawal. Some of our artillery is usually trained on minefields like this.
Gharan operated the switch on the neck of the butt of his assault rifle. The standard Detosian personal metal detector was built into the stock. It would indicate the presence of buried metal within 3 m with an electronic ping which could be toggled on and off, and by lighting a discrete red LED one.
I wish you luck.
Arajakal could sense the fear in the ex-Detosian soldier. He spoke with little enthusiasm and adopted his billowing lilac smoke form. Gharan's heart sank as the rapidly moving cloud streamed off into the fading light. He was alone in a vast field of deadly buried explosives. At the pace of a reluctant caterpillar, Gharan Eade set off on his perilous path. Gharan scanned the ground ahead until it brought pain to his eyes. His ears were tuned to the sound of the metal detector. He moved slowly, sweeping his weapon left and right through his arcs of fire. Ping moved slowly, sweeping his weapon left and right through his arcs of fire. Ping. Gharan's feet stopped moving immediately, and he had to concentrate to maintain his balance as he swiveled his weapon from left to right to find where the mine was. He turned his head to witness a slithering purple form on the ground in the murky darkness. Shit. Was all that Gharan could think as he leapt to his left and began sprinting. Ping, ping. Gharan braced for death, as there was no time to stop. The noise ended, and he ran on. Behind him, the AP-36 anti-personnel mine detonated faultlessly. The initial blast disintegrated the snake into countless fragments and launched the main charge up to head height, where it exploded, creating a zone of flying metallic shrapnel emanating at blinding speed from its epicenter. Gharan was knocked to the ground by the force of the explosion. Fragments of the AP-36 had embedded in his armor, and the dreaded waning tone of the sensor again filled his ears and taunted his sanity. Moving very carefully, he scanned the area from where he was sprawled. The buried metal was just in front of where his elbows had landed. Gharan resisted the undeniable urge to panic. He pushed back slowly, and then arose and continued cautiously onward. It was a full 2 hours of mental torment before he saw a flickering light in the distance ahead. It was Arajakal, who was cooking a small bird with a dull saffron-colored flame from the palm of his hand. He was standing on the edge of a large plate of bedrock, where the possibility of mines diminished considerably. Tears welled in Alkara's tightly clenched eyes as she recoiled from the force of Captain Tehlat's backhanded blow.
Don't be so stupid. I could report Gharan deserted and turn you over to Omni.
I would rather Omni have me than you.
Captain Tehlat was enraged that his plan was not coming to fruition. 3 weeks earlier, he had sold the patrol routes and hollow frequencies of the 7th Light Infantry to an old Meranian spy. Gharan was almost certainly dead, and the only choice for her, the way Rokoth saw it, was to escape the imminent Maranian invasion and flee with him to the nation of Su. He had the money, which had been delivered to him via a caravan of native donkeys in the dead of night a few kilometers from Firebase Gavin. He had the contacts that he required to get past the heavily armed border security checkpoints. The only thing that was not falling into place was Alkara. In her haste, Mrs. Eade had grasped a relatively blunt, though large, serrated edged bread knife.
Back off, right now.
Her voice was showing obvious signs of fear. Rokoth Tehlat strode forward confidently. He blocked a swift diagonal from the wavy-edged knife with his sturdy titanium forearm guards. He had taken off his helmet when he walked in, but few high-ranking officers ever removed their armor completely unless they were guarded or enclosed in a fortified building or bunker. Seizing the pretty red-locked woman by the forearm, crushing and twisting her wrist until she dropped the weapon, he sneered.
We'll see.
About 350 that way.
How many?
6 Lynx MBTs, 1 command vehicle, and a few outriders. We are going to have to skirt around them.
The tanks were elements of the 315th Armored Regiment that had been brought forward when the Imperial Command received news of the latest Maranian offensive. Gharan Eade and Arajakal proceeded cautiously forward. The slightest noise could alert the crews, who had formed a defensive ring for the night. As he neared the armored platoon's position, Eade could smell the familiar odor of the fatty meat rations that some of the tank crew were cooking on small heat lamps. Another sound suddenly came to the attention of the 2 magically enslaved men.
This genetically altered canine will surely alert the crews of these vehicles to our presence.
Arajakal's thoughts raced. So instead of diving to the ground, which was his first impulse, he reached swiftly across to grasp his object of focus. Without a sound and with but a pulse of dim light within the orb, Arajakal incinerated the animal.
Why did you not warn me that they employ dogs?
I forgot that tank crews sometimes get a general or 1 dog. It's not DGA procedure.
Arajakal was slightly bemused. He turned away and continued in the direction of Firebase Gavin.
Get off me, you animal.
You are going to love me, Eve. They are so small and convenient now. Not like the old days when you needed 3 technicians and a room full of sophisticated equipment. No, now a decent neural scourer fits neatly inside a specially designed attaché case. It's just a matter of attaching these suction electrodes to various parts of the head and switching it on.